Welcome to Interfaith Issues and Views, a program designed towards establishing tolerance and better understanding among different faiths and cultures. I am Shafayat Muhammad, and with me in the studio today is Dr. Jaffer. Welcome, Dr. Jaffer, to the show.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Well, it is indeed a pleasure to have you. And a man of your background, a man of your profession and experience, I would really like you to tell our viewers a little bit of your background and where you're from originally, and you're coming to the United States, etc.
I was born in a very faraway place in Mombasa, Kenya, East Africa. And unfortunately, you know about there's a famine going on there. But I grew up in a seaside city, just like Miami and Florida. And I looked up to America as a great redeemer. We were a British colony, and it is America that put pressure on all the colonial powers to liberate their colonies. Because America understood the pain of being a colonial entity, and they liberated themselves from the British rule, and they helped all these countries liberate. So for us, we grew up admiring America as the bastion of democracy, the oldest democracy. And when I did get a chance after I graduated in medicine and worked in the boondocks in Africa to come to America for postgraduate studies, and I went to University of Miami.
So what year was that?
That was in 1983.
I almost wasn't born. I'm just kidding.
I'm 57 now,
Oh.
yes, so I've been around.
Yes.
But I'm blessed, and I feel that coming to America was very, very interesting, because I discovered how this is a country where you are valued for your values, for what you are. Not where you come from, not your class, your color, creed, or faith, but who you are as a person. What do you bring to your fellow Americans? And you get promoted, you can become the chief, you can become anything based on your merit. And there is meritocracy in America. Other countries, it depends on whose family you come from, what political leanings you have, or what school you went to. And that aristocracy doesn't exist in America. It is where you are based on your merit. And I think this is a very great value we give to our fellow Americans. And I think that's one of the reasons why all the immigrants who came to America assimilated and have become a great juggernaut for the success of America versus Europe. You see, America surged and has remained the leader in the world today because you had this new blood come in, accept this nation as their own, and work with this nation and make sure they live the American dream, which means becoming successful, employing more Americans, and contributing to the wellness and the welfare of this country.
And I am 100% sure by your experience and your involvement today with your profession, you took full advantage of that in your assimilating in this community with the people, that today you have your own Jaffer medical group. I mean, I do admire you for that. You got 5 branches all over. Would you like to share a little bit, because I see you have different doctors with you, non-Muslim doctors of different faiths and different background in your Jaffer medical group. Would you like to tell our viewers a little bit about your...
Yes, I think we are all children of Adam, and we are one family, really. Every one of us is related to each other if you go as far back as Adam. So we are just a little distance away from each other, and I strongly believe that. And number 2, I was successful, I did well, I started my own practice, and then I had a nurse practitioner who is a Christian, her husband is a deacon in a church close by.
Interesting.
And she has been very, very, very strong in her faith, and then I've adopted other doctors who are Jews and Christians, and even Mormons. So what I feel is it doesn't matter what is your faith, as long as you have a heart. Medicine is a profession where you have a very special and a unique relationship with your patients. You become the custodian of their health, the most valuable gift God has ever given you. You see, everything else you can buy new. You can buy a new house, new car, but you can't buy a new body. This body you have been given is a wonderful gift. And I wanted doctors to be in my practice people who cared about my patients the way I do. Because I feel this is a divine duty, that if I become a doctor, it's my mission in life. Now I could be anything else. I could be even serving in McDonald's. But if I do it well with a smile and happiness, I'm serving my purpose in life. But as a physician, I've got an added duty that I am now responsible for the mind and body, soul, wellness of my patient. In America, unfortunately, our medicine has shifted towards illness care. You go to a doctor, he treats you for your medical problem, and then you don't see him again until you have another problem. And unfortunately, a doctor would starve if you were a very healthy patient.
Right.
You never came to him, okay?
Well, you know, if a doctor tell you business is not good, it means people not getting sick.
Not getting sick. It's ironical and it's sad, but that's the reality.
Yeah.
But what if the doctors were rewarded for keeping you healthy? In China, it used to happen, the barefoot doctors. You paid your doctor your chicken, or if I'm a pea farmer, gave him a pound of peas every week or something like that.
Right.
As long as I stayed healthy. The moment I fell sick, I stopped paying him. Now that is the idea of wellness, where insurance companies are beginning to do that, and they are saying, doctor, you know, you bill us all the time for sickness care, but what are you doing to keep this patient healthy? And how do you stay healthy? There are a few elements involved. One is prevention, which is most important. And God forbid you fail in your prevention, at least detect it early.
Right.
So I failed to prevent your cancer, but at least let me find early so I can do something meaningful without having you to suffer and then die or have a premature death. So this is the essence that we're missing on. And if you have chronic disease like blood pressure or diabetes, if you're aggressive and you treat it well, you prevent all the complications that we know that will come down the pike. So you're very happy with your doctor who did a bypass, right? But what if your doctor was aggressive with your blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes and prevented that bypass in the first place?
That would have been
so much happier,
of course,
right?
That would have been
and
better.
This is the new focus on wellness. And my office and my doctors with me, collectively, we are engaged in this type of medicine.
Very good,
where we
very
want
good.
to help our patients become the best of health they can have, considering the medical problems or the genetics or whatever. But I think there is a room for improvement no matter how well you are doing today.
Of course. And I'm sure, I mean, you have been doing this so fantastic. That's why you have grown so much. I mean, how many doctors and nurses are on your staff in the Jaffer Medical Group?
We have 4 doctors and 1 nurse practitioner. And the 5th one will be coming on soon.
And other members on the staff?
And then I have about 30 people working for us.
30 people working with
Yes.
you. Wow. I mean, that is growth.
Yes.
That got to be growth.
Yes.
I mean, blessings and
Thank
mercy
the
from
Lord,
God.
yes.
Well, you know, I mean, it's really, really a pleasure. We would like you to give an advice, I mean, as the head of Jaffer Medical Group, to our viewers after the short break. But before we go on the break, seeing that this is an interfaith program on issues and views, I want to hear a little bit about your experience in dealing with non-Muslim patients, because most of your patients are non-Muslims, Jews and Christians and your staff and everyone else. You know, that's a problem we have in the Muslim world, in the East and the Middle East, and some of them who come across to America, they have a problem in relating with people of other faiths. They don't know how to interact. Maybe you could share a few words on how you interact and how you develop that relationship with these people.
See, as a physician, you know, color is only skin deep. Beneath my skin, what I have, you have, or any person of any class, color, or creed is the same. Our physiology and our physics of how our body works and how our pathologies happen are all the same. So the first realization for a person who becomes a doctor is that all human beings are equal.
Right.
No one is superior to the other. So it's a very humbling fact that you realize that every person in front of you is a fellow human being, is a fellow traveler in this journey of life. So faith becomes so insignificant, really. And I find that I am blessed that I have a faith which makes it incumbent upon me to deal with my people of other faiths with kindness and with gentleness and with added care, so that they may benefit from my presence in their life. I feel each one of us gets connected and we make a difference in each other's lives.
Right.
We contribute. In this journey of life, you have many fellow travelers, and I feel that if somebody becomes my patient, he or she has given me that opportunity to be part of that life. It's an honor, and I don't take it lightly.
And all these people have developed that trust and that relationship with you as a Muslim doctor.
It is so important, because if a patient doesn't have faith and trust in his doctor or her, he will not listen, or she will not listen to your advice. And the biggest problem today in medical world is compliance, where the doctor gives a prescription or gives a treatment and the patients don't do it because they somehow don't feel completely convinced that that is the right thing for them.
Right.
But when a patient has faith in her doctor and she feels that this person really cares about me and wants me to be well, they will do anything. They will follow your instructions. And they'll be more open to tell you the side effects or what bothers them or what they don't like about your treatment. Because we don't have all the answers. Medicine is still an art. It's not an exact science.
Right.
Because I can take a problem in a Toyota of one type, and all the Toyotas have the same carburetor problem.
Right.
But each human being is a unique specimen. We are
Subhanallah.
almost 7 billion of us, but each one of us is unique. I think this is a great thing about the Creator.
That's the
that He's
most
made each one of us unique. Even my brother or sister, my sibling is not like me. Even my twin has got some difference. So this is the beauty of life. So medicine has to be tailored according to the patient's mind, body and soul. And faith is his part of his life or her life. So I must be aware and cognizant.
Right.
So for example, if I have a Jehovah's Witness, I know she doesn't want me to give her blood because it's against her dictates of her faith. And I must work with her, not chide her, not be upset with her that she's practicing medicine that or her ideas are not congruent with modern medicine. No, who am I to say that? And because of that tolerance and that patience with our patients' different ideas, you begin to work with them. And faith has to be remembered. Now, I know somebody is dying. I encourage them to contact their person of their faith so they have tranquility in their heart. So if I have a Jewish patient who's dying, I'll make sure that she gets in touch with her rabbi and gets to understand that.
Right.
So she becomes comfortable with her mortality, and that she dies with comfort in her heart, knowing that her Lord and her preacher is with her.
So you create that bond of
It's
spirituality
very important.
and physical benefit. in all
I think
different ways.
what you just said about spirituality is important. We are all spiritual creatures. We have that extrasensory perception that you listen and you hear about. It's true, it happens. The sixth sense you talk about, and that's your mind-body connection, connecting with other people and also with your Creator. And what path you take is your choice. It's like going up the mountain top. If you're choosing the east face, the west face, it doesn't matter. But finally it's connecting with the ultimate Creator.
Well, I think you have that blessings from God to create that bond of spirituality and to take care of the people. Dr. Jaffer, it is really a pleasure to have you with us in the studio on this program, Interfaith Views and Issues. And we cannot have a man like you with that kind of medical background and not have some health advice to our viewers. So after the short break, we would like you to share some of your healthy knowledge and experience to our viewers, inshallah. Thank you very much. And again, you are viewing Interfaith Views and Issues with our guest in the studio, Dr. Jaffer.
Subhanallah.
Tune in to Who's Who in America and in your community, hosted by Sister Naima Khan Ghani, with extraordinary guests every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. on www.alhikmatlive.com.
ولا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر والله أكبر.
Tune in for Friday Khutbah at 1:30 p.m. broadcasting live from Darul Uloom Institute, Pembroke Pines, Florida, on Al-Hikmat TV online.
जश्न आमद रसूल अल्लाह ही अल्लाह
Tune in to Young Muslim Talent in America, hosted by Salma Muhammad with talented kids from all over America, every Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. on www.alhikmatlive.com.
Oh, Jashne Amade Rasool. Allahi Allah.
Thinking of doing Sadaqah Jariyah for your near and dear ones? We recommend you to sponsor the Origin of True Islam brochure, the Genealogy of Prophets, or the surahs and zikr to be recited daily as Sadaqah Jariyah for your parents who have passed away. Or you could sponsor one of the items for yourself, fi sabilillah. For more details, contact the Al-Hikmat office at 1-800-804-0267 or 954-986-0158 or email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com.
Welcome to Interfaith Issues and Views, a program designed towards establishing tolerance and understanding among different faiths and cultures. Today with us in the studio, we continue our discussion with Dr. Jaffer, the president of Jaffer Medical Group. And as we promised you before we went on the break, Dr. Jaffer will now give us some highlights on how best to live a healthy life, inshallah, God willing. Welcome back, Dr.
Thank you.
Jaffer.
It's a privilege and a pleasure.
So, what would you tell our viewers on how best to live a healthy life, what they should do and what they should not do? What advice you have for our viewers?
It'll be my pleasure to tell you.
And of course, you know, we got viewers all over the world. I mean, Poland, Russia, all over the world, people view Al-Hikmat TV. So it is really a blessing. Not only would you be advising the people here in America, but you sit here and tell people all over the world on how best to live their life.
We have a similar body of all people around the world, all the 7 billion of us. The first and most important point people must realize is this is the most valuable gift you have been given. It's irreplaceable. Even if you're the richest person in the world today, you can't buy a new body.
Truly.
So this is all what you have. Number 2, the best doctor you have is you. Nobody knows your body better than you do. You live in it, and this is your means of everything you do in the life. And once you begin to understand your body, you become the best manager of your own body. Now, what else can you do to keep healthy? Now, we have done, I'm a geriatrician. I only take care of patients 65 or above, older patients. And these are the people who are getting older and dying soon, and mortality and morbidity, all this sickness, everything comes in much more. It's like an older Cadillac.
But that's very smart, because you deal with the people when they really start getting sick.
Well, that's when they really need a doctor. Yes, you're right. Because you buy a new Cadillac, you just gas and go.
Right.
As
After
you
the
get
warranty,
older,
you have the problem.
after you get older, you need more tinkering and you need a good mechanic.
Yes, yes.
But the beauty is that I want your body to need less and less or least amount of doctor input, because you have taken charge of your body.
Yes.
So we have done research as a doctor community of who are these people who live long, healthy lives. If you live to be 100, you're called a centenarian. So you got these centenarians all around the world, like in Okinawa or Sardinia or the Tibetan Hunzas, they live really long. So why do these people live long? What is it that makes them live long? One of the most important things they found was attitude. Your attitude, how you look at life, how you take care of things that happen to you. You see, like they say, it's not what the cards you're dealt with, but how you deal with the cards in life.
Right, yeah.
So many of us have got some genetic problems or diseases that we're given with, or handicaps that we were born with or we were given. It's not our choice, but how we handle that is important. So good things may happen to you, bad things may happen to you. How you handle it is very important. So it's like a glass half full or half empty. The guy who looks at glass half empty is sicker. The glass who looks at life as a half full is always the positive person who looks at even a calamity as a learning experience. So nobody has the power to make you unhappy without your permission. Now, what is happiness? You know, we talk about happiness and search for happiness. The guy who sleeps under the bridge or the big CEO, they're all looking for this elusive entity of happiness. Happiness is a state of mind. And how do you achieve it? With positive attitude. But let me tell you about what is stress, the other opposite feature that we all assimilate and accommodate and become part of our lives in this modern, very hectic and fast-living life. It's the simple example. Let's say in the days when we were in the caves, okay, and you've got a lion chasing you. What would you do? You ran fast, or you climbed a tree so fast, or there was a guy with a knife chasing you. You fought him, or you ran. All these are fight or flight response.
Right.
What is that? Your body surges with sugar, with adrenaline, you know, and hormones to fight, to make you feel stronger and harder. Your blood gets thicker, you got cortisol, you got all these things seeping into your body to help you cope with the fight, and in case you bleed, even your blood is thicker, so you may clot faster.
Wow.
So when is the commonest time for heart attacks?
At that
Monday
time.
morning.
Wow.
Because people feel stressed. So what I'm trying to impress upon you is that stress is one of the biggest causes of dysfunction. You know, disease means dis-ease of the body. Okay?
Yeah.
So what is causing my body to fall out of whack or out of sync and making me feel sick? So if I get upset or angry or nervous, what's happening to me? My blood pressure goes up. I'm driving on a highway and somebody cuts me off. And I could have two choices. I could say, I feel sorry for the guy, I hope he makes it, you know, maybe he's going to a hospital, I don't know.
Right.
Or I could get upset and angry and do things.
Yeah.
My choice. That is attitude. It's the choice you exercise on how you respond to calamities or bad things happening. You could say something bad to me, he could do something bad to me, things can happen to me. How I respond is my option.
But you know, I like that point that attitude helps you to live longer. Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
You know, Islamically, the Prophet, peace be upon him, the synopsis of a saying is that if you're nice with people, you're kind with people, and you be good to people, you get the blessings of sadaqah. It's a form of charity, kindness. And that kindness gives you a longer life. You get longer life by being nice and kind.
Wow.
So could you imagine, spiritually, your
Yes.
life is extended. And
It's
you're saying
extended.
physically,
Yes.
if you have a good attitude in how you deal with your health and whatever, you see the connection is interesting.
You made a very important point, because I'm a true believer that how long we live is not in our hands. We just buried another doctor friend, 49 years old, dropped dead on a tennis court. He was a healthy guy. But his time was up. And I've got dozens of patients in nursing home who should have died long ago, but they're still alive.
Right.
And they've got horrible sicknesses, but they're still alive. How do you explain that? So we know that we don't have power over life
Yes.
and death, but we do have power on how well we live.
Yes.
And this is what I want to address to your viewers, that your attitude is the most important criteria of how well you age. Because when you get upset, nervous, anxious, worried, you're destroying yourself from inside by the stress. I told you, these hormones are surging. But a lion was chasing me and I needed to run fast, or I needed to fight like a demon. But I'm just sitting in my car, somebody cut me off, or you said something bad, or I got some bad news on the phone, or I just got a bad thought. And every time I invoke the same bad response, it eats me from inside out. This is the oxidative stress also. You know, you eat an apple and you leave it outside. After a while, you'll see it is brown. Why?
Yes.
It got oxidized. So it's the oxidative stress. So there are other things that can help you that, but one of the biggest stresses of life is how you handle things that are not favorable in your mind. It could be a molehill, but you can make a mountain out of it. Okay?
Of course.
So it's up to you. So we can later shows, I will expand more on the attitude and how to garner a better attitude, and I'll give some nice examples. But I like to move along and I'll tell you more. The other thing is that, what were you 1,000 years ago? You were probably a farmer, most likely, okay? And you were working hard from dawn to dusk. You woke up early in the morning, and within a few hours, you had walked 10,000 steps. We in the medical field have discovered that each human being must walk 10,000 steps every day. On an average, that measures out to about 2 miles a day.
Okay.
But we don't do that. Lifestyle in our country, in America today at least, is very sedentary. We all sit in a car, an elevator, remote control. We don't walk enough.
Yeah.
So simple and stupid exercise, get out there and walk. People say, I don't have the time. Lunch break, take a walk. You go to a grocery store, park your car far and take a few extra rounds in the grocery itself.
Yes.
You're visiting somebody, he's got stairs or elevators, take the stairs. You make an opportunity where your body is working more. Okay? And there's so many other examples I could give you on exercise, but we don't. But also remember that farmer was lifting and pushing and pulling and he was doing physically activity where he was lifting and muscle work. We don't do enough muscle work. Our muscles are becoming withered.
And if you don't use it, you lose it.
Absolutely, that's right. Use it or lose it. That's right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're losing it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why as we get older, especially for my geriatric patients, as they get older, if they don't have muscle strength, they fall down. That's how you get fractures of the hips, injuries, because the person is so unsteady that a little trip puts them out of whack and they fall down.
Right.
So the strength is a very important factor of how well you age. Also, besides strength is flexibility. We are also having tight muscles. We must. I advise young people join a gym or just get a nice pair of sneakers, go out walking, or have a few weights in your house. So this is something on a broad level, but we could discuss that in detail later. The other thing is that we are becoming a nation where our weight is increasing exponentially. It's not our fault. It's because our society has supersized all our dishes. If you look at an average dish in every average American restaurant, it's twice of what you need. We've supersized everything.
Definitely.
And we do the same thing at home. We really eat too much. And also we eat processed food, we eat too much carbs, and we drink sodas. You know, sodas itself, giving you hundreds and hundreds of calories. And in simple mathematics, if I take in more calories than I need,
then you got to burn
it goes to the warehouse. Unless if I burn it more, like you said.
Right, yeah.
But if I don't do that, it goes to my warehouse. Where's the warehouse? My big belly, my big thighs, my this. And very soon, 30% of our nation, our kids are getting obese. Our adults are getting obese. We are becoming the fattest nation in the world because we just eat too much. If you cut down the quantity, you will do much better. So it's portion control, and also we don't eat right. Like I told you about the oxidative stress, the best way to avoid the stress is phytochemicals. You've got all these fruits and vegetables out there. You go to Publix or when you're at the grocery store, you see all these vegetables. But what to us as Americans we do is we eat only a very small variety of foods. And most of them are processed, highly fried. We don't eat enough vegetables. We don't eat enough fruits. Eat them. They're your best friend. And if you eat them, you don't even put on so many calories.
And God provided these fruits and vegetables for us naturally.
Yes. This is your pantry.
Yes, yes.
Your Lord has provided this wide pantry for you, and what you do, you just go to one area where you eat processed food and high calorie foods instead of eating this wide variety of fruits and vegetables. Big mistake.
Very big.
And I would recommend all your viewers to eat natural.
Yes, yes.
Your Creator made you, therefore has made all your provisions around you. Yet we go and eat this processed food because maybe it tastes better and so on. But remember, taste is something you adopt in a month.
Of course. Well, Dr. Jaffer, time is something always going against us. And
yes.
I mean, with such a healthy conversation, time is never enough to talk on health. But we want to take this opportunity really to thank you very much for being with us on this program, Interfaith Issues and Views, and to get your healthy advice to our viewers. And viewers, if you want to know more and learn more about your health, we want you to tune in to Al-Hikmat TV. Check out the program guide for Pearls of Good Health and Happiness with Dr. Jaffer. He is an experienced man and well-loved in the community and the society, very interfaith based, very connected to people of different faiths, and have been serving people in the community of different walks of life. And God has blessed him in this line of medical service to the community. So tune in to Al-Hikmat TV, check out the program guide for his special program on health, so you can learn and be a healthier person, live a healthier life, enjoy this life, and enjoy the blessings that God has provided for you. So once more, thank you very much, Dr. Jaffer. Do you have a last few seconds to say something to the audience?
It's been a pleasure. And I'd like your viewers to, if they can catch anything out of them, that this is the most valuable gift you have. Take care of it, and it'll take care of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much, viewers, for tuning in to Al-Hikmat TV for Interfaith Views and Issues, a program designed towards establishing tolerance and understanding among faiths and cultures. Thank you very much. Bye.